Hey, what's up, Kingdom? Want a really cool build for Warlock this season? This is new Warlock, class for Acolyte, and that's Torment build, really easy to play, really comes in line super fast, so you don't need a lot of gear to make this work. Basically, you can start it as soon as possible, and as you can see, gameplay is really cool and awesome. You're just running around, doing some cool stuff, some souls everywhere, so our basic gameplay loop is really simple. We're doing this Torment, it's doing damage over time, we're summoning some spirits, they're doing some damage over time. If we want, we can do even more damage over time with other skills and become this ball to do even more damage over time in area. Very powerful stuff, and if we are in trouble, we can teleport, or just teleport to make trouble for our enemies. If you really want to play this playstyle, you enjoy this type of gaming, so watch closely, I will show you how to make this awesome and cool build in last epoch. Okay, let's start with our skills. From basic Acolyte we got Transplant, our blink ability, and also Wandering Spirits. It's damage over time, area, ability, very powerful one. So teleport looking like this, we're basically teleporting for a small distance, and spirits, we're just summoning them, they wandering around and doing some damage. I like new graphics in last epoch, they're looking really nice, but let's get back to our build. Then we get in skills, our Fissure, Profane Whale, and also Spirit Plague. Spirit Plague will be unlocked by leveling Acolyte and spending points in Acolyte passive tree. So we got 3 skills from Acolyte and also Curse and Profane Veil from Warlock. Our main damaging ability is Fissure. You will make this open ground with spirits that damaging your enemies. Very powerful stuff, looking really cool. So how to make and level up this ability? It's super easy, we just go into the left side, instantly reducing mana cost, and also refund some mana if you use it against bosses, so that's nice ability. Also we will scale with Torment a little bit. Torment is a curse which deals damage over 2 seconds, and when tormented enemies die, so we get more spirits, so that's powerful stuff, but we get in the skill to get to this bottom tree as fast as possible. Now spirits will inflict damage on enemies, and damage deals necrotic damage over time. After getting at least 2 points here, we get in Grim Tide to increase damage per critical strike multiplier, and also getting Twisted Whiffs to basically increase necrotic damage from Torment, and this will be increased from our necrotic resistance. Then we continue to the left side to get in some Severed Words, so spirits will shed a necrotic resistance of enemies, really powerful stuff, and also Current to increase frequency of the spirits releasing and damaging enemies. So that's basically everything we need here, but also we can get some points in here to get chance to ignite our enemies, but mostly just to get to this Tomb Gorger to increase Torment damage by 45%. Then you can decide where you want to allocate other points. I suggest getting gear that will give more levels in this Fissure skill, and get Eradication to the maximum to increase damage to bosses and rares, and it will be doubled if you're cursed, so very powerful stuff. And basically using this ability really easily, you just casting it once and watching how enemies dies. You can do it multiple times, but there's no a real reason to do so, only if you want to reposition this Fissure. While you're traveling through the map, you will leave these fissures, but most of the time you will travel with Transplant. So how we level our Transplant? The left part will give us more protection, right part will give more offense. I recommend starting with offense and getting Acolyte's Fervor. So when we using Transplant, we get in Haste, and get some points in here to increase duration of these effects. So this will help you clear monoliths faster, because after each teleport you will be more fast. I hope it makes sense. Then you go into the bottom right to get Rain of Blood, and this will make more damage when you use Transplant. Basically creating body that detonates, and you can get more abilities in here, get Doombringer. So when you're arriving at targets, you cast Bone Curse over there, so enemies will become cursed. That scales with other skills, very powerful stuff. And Violent Emergence. If enemies below 15% threshold, this will instantly kill them. Very powerful stuff. If you're fighting against someone with high health amount and you're killing them slowly, you can just use it and basically destroy them from 15% health. That's our main combination for like speed clearing, and then we can finding some enemies that is really strong or a lot of other enemies, how to basically increase our DPS a lot. Our next skill, Spirit Plague. It's got super low mana cost, basically 0 mana cost. Very powerful. It's of course with some gear, but with just few points in this skill you will have at least like 3 mana cost without any other like additional skills required. So pretty low mana cost skill. And also with like mediocre gear, at least not with best one, you will have really high cast speed. So looking really powerful and fun. Leveling this plague is really simple. You gain a few points in efficacious application to reduce mana cost and basically increase mana efficiency and increase duration of the skill. At the same time, I recommend getting 1 point in toxic transmission at the bottom to inflict poison stacks when you cast in this plague, and also you can increase casting speed with perpetuity. And this will make the skill pretty cool and powerful already, because it won't require you a lot of mana unlike your other skills. Then go to the right side, get Pestilence, increase global damage over time, and you're basically scaling WoW build with damage over time, so that's super powerful node. Then you get 1 point in Plague of Bearer to inflict plague on our enemies, and this will deal damage over time, poison damage, and it will spread between enemies, so pretty powerful stuff. And then just increase damage of the skill. Rotten to the core, 5 points in here, more damage by 50%, and also concentrated rot, so more damage by 50% more. But spread range will be less, so you need to cast it a little bit more, but you don't care too much. You got pretty like 0 mana cost with a really high casting speed. And then you can finish with getting to the left side, get 1 point in Snail, hindering affiliation, so you will inflict slow on your enemies, then 2 points over here, or like even 3 points over here to inflict frailty on enemies, which will reduce damage they will inflict to you. This build is really tanky and this helps, but at least 1 point here will be okay to get Plague of Ice. We're getting it last because it scales with intelligence. We won't have high intelligence until later levels when we get gear, so don't rush to this node too fast. That's our like main combinations, bread and butter. We just teleporting, doing fissures, and then spamming our like ability Spirit Plague. That's it basically. Make sure to keep fissure running all the time, like stand over here, if you're in trouble, teleport, and basically that's it, all gameplay. But sometimes you will see enemies that are super powerful, tanky, or just a lot of them. That's where comes our spirits and profane whale. You need to channel it, so press and hold, and you will become this ball that's doing large amount of damage, and you're kinda invulnerable when you're in a ball form. So your basic combination against really powerful enemies, you just jump forward using fissure, using this Spirit Plague on them, and then casting spirits and becoming ball at the same time. Let's start with the spirits. It's your first skill, and basically with spirits you can instantly go to the bottom right to get Lingering Souls, increase spirit duration, get at least 2 points in here, you can have 3 points, and then get 5 points in Reap the Damned. You will increase damage to cursed enemies, and you will curse enemies with other abilities, so it's nice synergy. And at the same time, damage to damned enemies is powerful too. You will damn enemies, so nice combination to make these spirits really powerful. But spirits got really high cooldown, that's why next node will be to the left, Spirit Swarm. Increase cooldown recovery speed, basically lower your cooldown, get Terrifying Presence if you wish. This will possibly fear enemies, it will cause them to flee from spirits, and that's kinda help you to survive some time. Also with additional points you can decide what you want more, maybe it's False Courage, it will reduce fear duration but increase damage. Or you can have Familiar Souls. Reveal range will be reduced, but again more damage. But before you invest in these nodes, actually get to the right side. Souls of Rage is a lot more powerful stuff. You will increase movement speed of spirits. They are not too fast, honestly, they are not too fast, even now. But imagine them without this node, they are super slow. That's why this node is really powerful one, and also it can increase their damage at the same time, so that's like more powerful node. And also you will poison enemies with some of your skills, that's why Poisoned Minds is really nice stuff. you will inflict more damage to poisoned enemies. But if you're not sure, you can poison right now with your skills, get this node Spectral Putrescence, which will give ability to spirits shoot arrow of poison at enemies, and they will be poisoned with 100% hit chance. So, final ability is our Ball. And as you can see, Ball got a lot of hexagon nodes. Hexagon nodes alters how your skill basically plays out and doing some stuff. That's why my initial leveling of the skill looks like this. I'm getting 1 point in Loose Tongue to reduce mana cost. We don't care about mana cost, but we want to get to this Penitent Tangent to inflict curse on your enemies with this skill. Then we're going to the right, 1 level over here, reduce mana cost, more damage. Again, we don't care about this too much. We're gaining this skill only to get to Forked Tongue. This will create secondary area instantly, and it will auto aim at your targets. It will increase mana cost, but we don't care. We're using it only against strong enemies. And then 1 more note over here, Graves. When you enter and exit through this skill, you cast in Bone Curse. So just with this node, your ball will be looking like this, really crazy, like a double ball for a really nice amount of damage. And then you can forget about this node and start going to the bottom left to get Spirit Plate. While you're in this form, you're not getting protection from dot effects, and this will give you protection from dot effects from your armor. So very powerful stuff, but again, we're getting it to unlock scenes. When you cast in Wandering Spirit and they are revealed inside your veil, spirits will do more damage. So that's super powerful combination. That's why we're using spirits and then using this ball. So this ball and spirits will do a lot more damage with this combination. And then you can go to the left side and get 1 level of Snail to slow enemies possibly. We don't care about this too much, but we're getting Scorn, increasing damage to Cursed while we're using the skill. Then we get a few levels in Stream of Profanity. When we cast any curse skills, it will reduce cooldown of our ball skill, so very powerful stuff. And Sable Inquisition, few levels over here to increase area. That's basically it, that's everything you need, and you can spend more points if you get them in area, in more damage to cursed enemies, or over here in more duration and more speed. I actually like this node. Move speed is really nice because when you're going like this, you can teleport, then use spirit and use this ball and be really fast, do a lot of damage. That's our main combinations, but what is our passives? Let's go to passive tree. It's super simple, you got just 20 points in Acolyte, so get some armor and Forbidden Knowledge. It will give you intelligence and necrotic resistance, and this gives you armor and minion armor. You don't care about minion armor. Now 1 point in Mania of Mortality, just to get to Unnatural Preservation for ward retention, necrotic resistance, and poison resistance. So nice protection layer over here, just to get 20 points and unlock Warlock. Now we're going full all into the Warlock tree. And over here you get in Spiteful Decay, increasing damage over time and more health. And basically you don't want to max out everything from the start, just get everything, a little bit of everything. So you can have few points in here, then few points in here, increased mana regeneration, and after you spend 5 points here, you will have chance to regain mana on hit, so powerful abilities, and that's why we're spending 5 points in each of this node, initially and finally. You don't need to spend 5 initially, you can spend a few points here, get this mana on hit, and then continue leveling, then get back over here, just don't forget, because you will deal more damage over time to cursed enemies. So next node, Unholy Torment, getting all in, 6 points in here, spell damage for curses and increased area for curses. Occultist Mind, get at least 5 points in here to gain more mana per intelligence, and this will increase your intelligence. And then let's continue our journey. Start from top, because you need some protection from enemies. You don't have some bodies, so your summons is not present in this build, you're playing without summons. So Spirit Leech is really powerful stuff. You will have increased Leech and also Leech against Cursed, very powerful. Then basically increase your Vitality and Intelligence with Malefic Body, so you gain more health and more ability power, basically intelligence. Then 2 points in Chaotic Strikes. You get chance to inflict double damage against cursed enemies, but 2 points here just to get to the next node, Wreak Havoc. You have critical multiplier plus 40% and more damage with these Chaotic Strikes. That's like nice bonus for this node. And that's our main like damaging tree. So our damage right now is kind of maxed out. We get into the later stages of the game. Let's think about defense. And defense will be over here. So Ward of Malevolence, you increase in ward decay threshold, ward gained on kill. So you're just roaming around, killing enemies, gaining a ward, and also gaining ward while channeling skills per intelligence. And to get 3 points here, to get then 3 points over here. It will increase your vitality by 3 points, and also increase ward decay threshold per 1 point in necro resistance. And also while you're channeling, you will have reduced damage taken, so powerful stuff. But you don't care about this too much, you're not channeling and taking damage most of the time, only dot damage will give you, like, inflict damage when you are in a ball form, but you will increase damage to damned while channeling, so increase power of your ball. And bottom 3, basically, it's like armor and health, 5 points in here. You will gain more armor per curse on target, 5 points in here to get ward per second, and also less damage taken per curse on target, then 5 points in Wither to take less damage again. Very powerful stuff. Taking less damage is really one of the like best abilities to have. It's not like reducing damage from crits, reducing necrotic damage. It's basically like reducing all damage you take. And if I'm not mistaken, it will be applied after all like damage instances. So your resistances will be calculated. You probably will take a little bit of damage and then it will be reduced even more. So very powerful. And then we're getting like nodes over here. 2 in darkness, just to unlock our last node over here, to increase damage for curses. You don't need it early, but that's powerful stuff. And also you can have Fleeting Crown, you can get it a lot earlier. You will get haste chance on kill, and haste chance when hitting boss or rare enemies, and also increasing haste effects. So that's powerful stuff to just speed run through monoliths and speed farm. This build is really good for speed farming, so feel free to use it. And when you get in gear, you can get my item filters from the description and pinned comment, but also just look for gear that scales with necrotic, spell damage, intelligence, and damage over time. Also, some critical strike multipliers will work. I hope you enjoyed this build. Watch other cool builds for Last Epoch on the screen right now, and see you in the next videos.